For the season premiere of Sister Wives, let's talk about Maddie's tears, references to Garrison being gone, Kody's super dad routine in the morning, and how I think the editors put that all together for a reason. One of the most difficult things, there was two things that were so difficult to watch in the season premiere of Sister Wives. One was watching Maddie cry about her relationship with her father. The second was both Christine and Janelle made references to Garrison's passing. They talked about how they want to have a part of the flower farm that honors him. And of course, I was like, I think everybody sort of had that moment of like heartache for him. Now, in comparison to that, I think we have a very deliberate scene from Kody as sort of a super dad. They show him brushing Solomon's hair. They show him taking the kids off to school. And I think this was done very deliberately for a couple different reasons. I think one was that there was all these criticisms. Why don't we see inside Kody and Robin's house? What are they hiding? So I think that was a big part of it. I think it was also criticisms to Kody about why don't we see, anything with his life? It's all these produced things. So I think it was part of that. But what I think it did on accident was that it highlighted how bad of a dad Kody has been to his original children when he was moving from house to house. So we know from Christine's book that when Robin joined the family, Kody started going over there and putting the kids to bed every night, even when it wasn't Robin's night. I'm guessing based on what we've seen in the footage, Robin was like, the kids need this to bond with you. They need this to bond with you. So he would leave the other wives' house, go over to Robin's to tuck them in. We know from last season that he also drove them to school because he wanted to, and no one could tell him what he wanted to do. And he even says in the first episode that he used to be an engaged parent, but he's so much more now, which is what we've always said. Like, hey, I don't believe that this guy's this really engaged parent to 13, 18 kids. He just can't be. There's just not enough time in the day for him to spend even 15 minutes with each of them, which we didn't see. Maddie talks about the deep pain she has, this lack of reconciliation. She is heartbroken. She even says that she knows that she has some responsibility in it, which I do not know their whole situation, but it's hard for me to believe that it is a 50-50 problem. And Kody says, of course I want reconciliation, but they insist that it has to be on their terms. And what it sounds like to me is they've created boundaries and he's like, I don't like boundaries. I'm not going to respect that. And it is so heartbreaking. It is so difficult to watch. And, Maddie and Leon, they show a clip where they talk about Robin's children, and they hope that they know that they're loved deeply and all of that. And I hope that they do know that so they can at least save out on some therapy bills later on in life, because it has to be heartbreaking to believe, because their parents keep telling them that the original 13 kids never loved them and accepted them. So this, I think, is one of those things where it's the most difficult part of the whole episode, is to watch how deeply these kids are suffering versus, and I assume this was just about Maddie, but I assume that many of the kids feel the same, have this deep, deep wound because their father has basically decided they don't want a relationship. And then it cuts over to Kody pretending to be super dad with no problems whatsoever. He doesn't seem to have any heartache over these broken relationships. And all he says is, well, it has to be on their terms and I'm not willing to do it. Just difficult to watch.